Welcome to the Wrexham Coffee Matchup. I'm Dave.
And I'm Courtney. Each week, we'll take a few minutes to catch up on the latest news from Wrexham. From matchups to transfers, on and off the pitch, we'll share our takes on it all.
So grab a coffee and join us.
Hey Dave, welcome back.
Welcome back. And should I say happy birthday almost? Because this is our 30th episode. And so we've been doing this for 30 times. And so it's like our birthday episode. Can you believe that?
No, I cannot. Actually, I cannot.
So what it popped into my head because it reminded me of two things. One was I remember when I turned 30, I finally felt like I understood what I was doing on a daily basis. And that's how I feel now that we go to film these episodes, that we know what we're doing now.
That's true. All right. So then we need another 10 episodes for me to get to that feeling then, because I didn't feel like that until I turned 40. Yeah. I was a mess at 30.
Yeah. And the other thing is that last year I hit my 30th year at my job. And that's when I finally stopped worrying about that one day they were going to come and fire me, which I knew was an irrational fear. But it's like, okay, now it doesn't matter. So, yeah,
well, there you go.
A little silliness to get us starting. So since last week, we do have a little bit more information on our injury updates, which is unfortunately like playing out over the next couple of weeks. So Kieffer Moore he tore a tendon on his hamstring. And so in an interview, Parkey said that even though he felt good enough to play, it was one of those tears where, depending on how serious the tear, it could lead to actually more long-term damage. And so they're moderating that and they're keeping an eye on it. So they figured that he'll be out for about 4 weeks, including the time he's already been out. But he's definitely out for the next 2 matches that we have coming up, as well as he's confirmed that he's out for the international. So he won't be playing for Wales in their qualifiers for the World Cup this time around. We'll talk about those a little bit more at the end. But he did say that Matty James is making his way towards recovery. That's that something
kind of means nothing. I'm sorry, but
I know.
Give me a timeline.
Well, and we're really feeling the Matty James and Kakachi hole in the midfield at the moment. But Matty James is hopefully making his way back. Kakachi did have another set. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just say we're feeling a lot because it's not just the injuries. It's also George Dobson out.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. So Kakachi had a setback, so he will still be out for a while longer. And we know that Sheaf is out for the rest of the season. But Dobson was out for 2 matches this week, and he has 1 more on his suspension. So we really need him back in the midfield come next Saturday.
Stat,
we need him back. But I think we had this moment on the Swansea match where they panned to the stay-ins, and the saddest photo I've ever seen in my life was Kieffer Moore, Matty James, and George Dobson sitting there in their training gear watching the game. Moore with the hat pulled down to cover his eyes just a little bit.
He looked like he was a cartoon character of like 3 kids standing on each other's shoulders with a trench coat on to be the size of an adult. He looked like he was incognito, but like in the worst kind of way.
Yeah, but it was so sad. And I think everyone felt like he's showing them. I mean, we love that they're there supporting the team, but it's like,
of course,
we want them all on the bench, on the field, because we need everybody right now for this next couple weeks. So do you want to take us through? So we had our whole match on last Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we can get the bad news out of the way first. We lost 1-2. So this was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days after we played Chelsea, 3 days after we left it all out on the field, on the pitch rather. I think it's not a surprise that we didn't win, just because that was such an intense and physical match from the time point of view, right? It was interesting because 6 minutes in, we got our first booking. Hull got the first booking from the ref, a foul on McBurney, got a yellow card, and it kind of felt like maybe that was going to set the tone and set the pace of the match. It was also kind of a does that mean not everything is going to go against us this time? The ref made up for it in spades. We got a card 2 minutes later against Sam Smith. And then it was, we had some great shots. It was the first start, I think, from Zach Viner.
Yes, it was.
Who played very well, got a really fantastic first shot on goal that was deflected. And then it just felt like we got a couple of really bad calls from the ref that spiraled down. So a really bad call led to a free kick and a really fantastic goal. And then a really crappy call that led to an excellent save. And we went into halftime down 0-1. Started off halftime, Ollie Rathbone comes immediately onto the pitch. But yeah, honestly, the team just looked tired, looked a bit like they're still trying to figure out.
So would you
how does
say
everybody...
it was almost like a hangover in a sense?
I would say yes, and trying to figure out what do we do without Moore, without Dobson, without the other people that have been out for a while, right? Like that's some additional shuffling that was really unexpected, right? To have these 2 additional players that were out. We got, Rathbone came in at halftime. Kabore came in with the speed that he comes in, and had some really incredible opportunities. Was great that we got the goal from Broadhead at the 76th minute that reminded me of the Chelsea match, because if you blinked while it was going in, it hit the bar and popped back out. You wouldn't have known that it happened.
Again, yes. The goalposts themselves this week have their own whole series of articles that have hit online explaining why these goalposts are reacting that way. So when they changed the field to meet the UEFA standards, apparently they poured like a concrete pad underneath where the goal goes. And in order for this goal to stay, it has to have that lower rear bar, which not all goals have that lower bar in the back. And so to anchor it down, it uses that bar to anchor it to the pitch. And that's where when the ball hits it, it's been bouncing straight back out again. And so it's something that like you have to check multiple angles. I mean, we saw on the Chelsea one, they're like, hey, is that a goal? It's crazy, but it's also crazy to think that at this time of technology that they can't create a goalpost that would not do that. And to have it happen 3 times over a couple of weeks, it's just crazy. It's crazy to think of.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what it was. We looked tired. We looked like a team that had just played a Premier League team 3 days earlier.
Right. So
there was not a lot of time in between, right?
So I admit I was not able to watch live because I had a pretty hectic day on Tuesday, because with time change, it then made the game even later in my afternoon. I used to be able to use my lunch hour and kind of buffer it around to do that. But for the next couple of weeks, I still have to balance things. But I admit that having followed online, having followed the chit chat and the updates that we received from our friends in the stands, as well as from you during the match, I didn't even bother to go back and watch the replay.
Honestly, that's fine.
It just felt like a little depression kind of settled over the team and all of us fans. And we just knew we had to just look towards Friday. And the loss and the way it happened, and just sort of the lack of oomph to the loss, it makes me very happy that when we decided how we were going to do this podcast, that we decided to do it on a week-by-week basis and not a match-by-match basis. Because at least it gave us a few days and another match to recover.
And that's a great segue to go into this next match. So there was a lot of hype around this match.
A lot of hype for a lot of reasons.
Reasons.
One, because first of all, we put in a pretty not so great performance against Swansea in December. when we visited them in Swansea. It was a
That is
tough
accurate.
match. It was a tough match. It was a tough weather match. The only goal that we got was an own goal scored by them. And there was fight and there was try, but it just came too late. And so we definitely needed to show that we could still beat Swansea, right? And, kind of get it back for this time. But the other reason why this match had a lot of hype about it was that Rob Mack and Ryan Reynolds were doing commentary for Sky and for Paramount Plus. So they actually ran an alternate commentary stream where they had the regular commentary on the channel if you didn't want to watch the Rob and Ryan show. But they did a full produced, I watched on Paramount Plus, and they did a full pregame show with Ben Tozer and Ben Foster and other former players. They had guests throughout the show. Stephen Fletcher, Ollie Palmer came on during the commentary. They had a real Sky commentary guy to try to keep order, but it didn't really work. So it was an interesting thing, and you can watch actually the whole thing on YouTube now. As a interview and to learn more about the owners and how they feel about the team and what they think about the team and how they see the team from their perspective, I think it was very entertaining.
Sure.
As a fan who was very nervous about this game and wanted to watch the match and want to watch the match in full screen on my television and not shrunk down so you could see the owners on the bottom corner talking, I lasted about 5 minutes. And then I switched over to the regular commentary. I know you watched the iFollow.
I did.
And we both had you had a normal experience. I had a pseudo-normal experience. And
right.
I think we made the right choice because it was definitely after the letdown of Tuesday, we were just, the team that we love was back. Right. They took that couple days.
That's an understatement. Even
came out on Friday. And again, it was one of those just front to back, everyone who was on the field just played their best. And the really, like constant attack. We saw Viner started again. That was his second start. And I believe he played the full 90 minutes this time. And we finally have seen moments this week from Catamardery. So he came in at the whole match, and he came in at the end of the Swansea match. DKD made an appearance. We even see, so we pretty much saw like a lot of everybody, except for the people we really want, which are on the field injured at the moment.
I mean, to be fair, in, 24 days, we have 75 matches. It's something like that. So everybody's got to get a time to play just to give people a rest.
Give time to play. But we came back, and we really, this was the team. There were people like, okay, this is why they're in sixth place. This is why they're in current playoff positions. If they can keep this up for 9 more matches, they have a really good shot to get there. I had to laugh at one thing. So, Broadhead made first half goal, really nice goal, kind of got us going. And I remember as we're going through the match, trying to think, okay, just one more, and then we can relax a little bit, right? There were a lot of good opportunities. And then I saw a comment when Swansea made their subs. I saw a comment on social media. I said, "Oh, watch out for Liam Cullen. He's like their Fletcher. He comes in and he scores last minute goals." Right? And so Liam Cullen was subbed on, and at the 88th minute, he scored an own goal for us.
Well, it's true. He comes on. And scores goals.
And scores. And it was to our benefit that he scored for us. I saw it as a Callum Doyle goal, but Callum Doyle saw it as a Callum Doyle goal. But
I was going to say the same.
We'll leave it up to the refs. Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts on the Swansea match?
Well, yes and no. It's something that kind of leads into another discussion, which was how fantastically Hyam played.
Yes.
I think the last couple of matches, he's really been on fire. And I think that's resulted in something really nice that was announced today, that he has been called up to play for the Scottish national team.
Right. And so Scotland's already qualified for the World Cup. So they'll use the international break on some friendlies to get more team practice. But that's great. If he plays well for them, like he's been playing for us, then there's a good chance he can make World Cup appearances this summer.
Yeah, maybe.
along with hopefully, fingers crossed, a few of other players, health be willing. And
I'm very conflicted about this.
Conflicted in the sense that we want Moore to recover and we want him to be at his best.
Well, there's that, but more of a household conflicted, because it's pretty much if Wales is through, Italy is not.
Right. So luckily you have a few weeks to kind of sit on that and not worry too much about that at the front of your head, right? Because so Wales will play Bosnia-Herzegovina on March 26th. And then if they win that, they will play the winner of the Northern Ireland and Italy match. And the team that wins that match will then go to the World Cup. And to play Switzerland in
oh my gosh, this is just getting too complicated for me.
Here at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. So that
how about that?
They're in the same group with Switzerland. Yes. So there's so many possibilities coming up.
And lots of internal conflict for me. But
we'll
fine.
revisit that in a few weeks. We can come back to that one. So after Swansea's victory, very happy, energy restored, everyone's back on top. So we're still sitting in 6th place. That has not changed.
Right. Thank goodness, because it could have.
It could have changed. We're 3 points up. There was a lot of Saturday,
Shake-ups.
Sunday changes that kind of like big teams kind of took draws and losses. And so there was a lot of shuffling, but everything kind of stayed relatively steady at the top of the table. Remind me, so we have 9 matches to go. And as you pointed out, only 3 of those are at home. And traditionally,
only 3 home matches.
That was our strong point traditionally, from National League up through League One. Like, our home matches were our bread and butter. We were kind of unbeatable at home. This year, our record's not as great at home, but we still have a strong record at home. But we are playing well away. So just the fact that it's away doesn't mean that it's going to be harder. I think that every match at this point, no matter who we play, is going to be a tough one.
It is.
I mean, we're playing teams above us. We're playing teams below us. We're playing teams who are all trying to vie for playoff contention. So it's really just a grab bag, and we just have to keep putting out the strongest team that we have every week. Yeah.
And especially now, we're playing matches every 3 and 4 days. So that makes it difficult. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Well, it doesn't matter who you're playing against at that point. You've just got so many, and you need to make it to the end.
Right. So I was realizing this morning as I was making my notes for today. So it was 4 seasons ago, our last National League season, when we started watching matches regularly and following matches closely. So I think it was halfway through the promotion season when we got access to watch video, to watch the games. And it was right around this time of the season when our collective anxiety kicked in, when it was 10 more matches to go. And it was the countdown. It was the 10 matches. And we're like, how many more? And then it was like just trying to keep out of the promotion or the playoffs, because we were trying to keep out of playoffs because we had lost in the playoffs the previous year. And so we were like, let's try to get one of those 2 automatic promotion slots. And so here we are 4 seasons later, 3 leagues higher, and we're looking to get we want in the playoffs. We want to fight and make our best to get there. So you're thinking something. You have that thought.
No, I was just thinking. I'm a tough one to crack. You can't tell. I got a great poker face. I was just thinking, actually, this will be the first season that we're not counting down to when is the match that we've still got matches to play, but we've been promoted.
Right. No, this is we're counting down to how many matches or how many points till we know we could be in the playoffs, and then have 3 more matches to get promoted. So it's really do we keep going all the way up until May 23rd, or will the season end at some point, and then
sometime before then,
and then we move on to next season. So here's my question for you, and we don't have to answer today, because I'm not sure today's the right day to answer this question.
Oh, okay.
So in the playoffs, there's teams that are ranked from 3rd through 6th.
Right.
They rank
this year.
This year, 3rd place 6th, 4th place 5th. They play each other twice. each at home, and then the
Mm-hmm.
winners of those 2 matches go to Wembley. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, if you look at, like, right now, our
Mm-hmm.
prospective opponents could be Ipswich
Mm-hmm.
Town, Millwall, or Hull City,
Mm-hmm.
with the possibility of Middlesbrough thrown in depending on how the next couple games go, right? Like,
Right.
of those, is there one we would not want to play? Is there one we
Ipswich.
would want to play? You would not want to play Ipswich, or you would want to play
No.
Ipswich?
No.
Why
Would
is
not.
that? Why is that?
They would have too big a bone to pick.
After three matches against us this season, yeah.
I mean, I think they would come out blazing. So
Okay.
I would not want to play them.
I wouldn't
Maybe
want to
if
play
we
Hull
were
City.
all fully healthy.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd want to play Hull City.
Yeah, but then that would be us, though. We'd be the ones roaring in. You see what I did? Roaring tigers. But no, I wouldn't really want to play. Can it just be none? Can it be? No, we can't make it. We can't make it automatically. There's not a possibility, is there?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay, so then I take option C.
Okay, so we're hoping for
whoever
Millwall.
C is would be that. would be who I'd want to play.
Whoever's
I
not
think
or
not
Hull City.
Ipswich. Yeah.
And we can.
But what do you think?
That. I would agree. I think we would do well against Ipswich Town. I think we played so well against them. But Millwall,
that it would be like a little confidence booster.
Could be confidence, like we've done this before. We've done it several times before.
It's in the bag.
We did it twice in a week. We can do it again. You know, we can do it 2 more times.
Yeah.
Right. But
okay.
We shall see. So, so last week. So before we talk about the upcoming matches, so last week they rolled out and announced the American tour. So they're coming back. The team is coming back to America at the end of July, beginning of August. This time they're doing an East Coast tour. There was question as to whether they were going to be able to do it or not because of the World Cup. And the World Cup is taking up a lot of the stadium time and the players, obviously, that will be playing for their international teams. But they found a week in the end of July, beginning of August. So they're going to Florida to play Leeds United. Then they're going to be in New York playing Liverpool at Yankee Stadium. And then going to Philadelphia.
I still can't imagine that.
Yeah, and then they're going to Philadelphia to play Sunderland. And then if we stay in the championship, then the season starts, I believe, a week later. So it's going to be a tight turnaround. But I think that there's a lot of excitement, especially amongst the North American fans. Definitely the American fans. I don't know if the Canadian fans are as excited because there's still a big movement of Canadians not coming to the US, which is rightfully, understandably so at the moment. But there's definitely, I started getting messages from people like, are you coming to Florida? No. I wasn't thinking of going to any of them, but then I did get talked into going to the Yankee Stadium game in New York.
I tell you, somebody had to really twist your arm hard for that.
It took all of about 20 seconds, but
exactly.
I figured of the 3 places I wanted to go, and the fact that it's Liverpool, and that I'll get to meet some of our online friends who have not met in person. 1 or 2 I have, but it'll be a nice opportunity. I think it'll be a really fun time. It was very interesting trying to figure out how to buy tickets to a football match in a baseball stadium.
Yep.
Especially when the communication about how the ticket rollout was not handled so great from the team. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
We've never seen this before.
Yeah, the timing was unclear. The availability, what seats were going to be, were unclear.
My link was not working, and they sent me a new one like an hour and a half later.
Right. And what they ended up doing is they sold a very small supporter section kind of above the goal, high up. And like that was the first ones they put on sale, not telling you that 2 hours later you could buy tickets in the rest of the stadium. And
which I wouldn't really want to sit there anyways. I'd love to sit more at midfield.
Yeah. Well, when you look at the map, midfield,
wherever midfield is going to be in a baseball stadium.
And the seats at midfield were much further away than the seats at the corners from the match.
Okay.
So I ended up picking seats sort of near the corner, as close to the pitch as I could get. And I know
that's true, because like half of the half of the game is not going to have supporters around it, because that would have been your outfield.
The scoreboard. Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting experience. But the New York FC is the team that plays there currently. So I think they've got a system down. It'll be interesting to see. But to be in New York will be kind of fun to match. Yeah. So what do we have coming up this week then? So
we've got another big week of 2 matches. We've got 4 days of rest, then 3 days of rest before we play 2 away matches versus Watford and Sheffield United.
Okay. So so Watford is currently 10th. And there's only 2 matches on Tuesday. So these are makeup games from previously rescheduled ones, because Southampton's also playing, and these are both makeups from FA Cup matches from previously.
Okay.
So Watford's currently in 10th. We drew them 2-2 at home in December, and that was right in the middle. That was between Swansea and Hull City that we played Watford, and then we came back on Boxing Day and played Sheffield United, which kicked off sort of like our amazing blazing trails. So that's who we're playing on Saturday, and they're currently in 15th. So let's hope that this is part of that blazing trails campaign that continues against them.
Well, let's hope that this is a fantastic blazing trail of matches. Exactly.
Towards the end of the season. We do have an international break after that, so there'll be a week off. And then we come back
a whole week. What are we going to do with ourselves?
I know. And then we come back to league action on Easter weekend, Friday, which is Good Friday, April 3rd. We play West Brom. And then the Southampton match that was originally on Monday has moved to Tuesday. Yeah. So that'll be on Tuesday, April 7th. At least they're not pushing it like to a different week that already has other things scheduled, just a day. So hopefully that doesn't make too much difference.
They've not got a whole lot of days between then and the end of the season at the beginning of May. So
May 2nd is the last game of the season. So gonna be barreling through. 9 more to go. Let's just keep going.
9 more. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for joining us this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
You can also email us at wxmcoffeematchup@gmail.com. All one word. That's wxmcoffeematchup@gmail.com. Or you can follow us on Instagram and Blue Sky at wxmcoffeematchup.
From the cop to your coffee cup, that's all for today's Wrexham Coffee Matchup. Keep it brewing, keep it red, and as always, up the town.